Welcome back to halftime. It's South Carolina State's halftime. South Carolina State, of course, taking on Delaware State this afternoon. We're talking with Troy Johnson. Troy, we're talking about your role at South Carolina State, how you've transitioned into that role. For young people out there who may be interested in trying to become a part of an athletic program, what advice would you give them from the standpoint of, is this something they can do in college, or how do they start getting into this career?
Man, I would say take advantage of all opportunities, especially when you get to college. Relationships matter, and people hire people that they know and they trust. So the earlier you can get in and intern with someone, be a student intern, be a student volunteer, and learn which avenue in athletics you want to travel down, I think it helps you further along in life. I'll use an example. I hired a guy when I was at Middle Tennessee as one of our student managers. His name is Larry Maples. And Larry was from Memphis. He was a former high school football player that wanted to stay around the game, and I hired him as a student equipment manager. And Larry kind of took the bull by the horns, and Larry just started and just kept going. And he eventually became an assistant equipment manager after he graduated. And then he eventually became the head equipment manager. And then he eventually became assistant AD for equipment, and then associate AD for facilities and equipment. And now Larry is transitioning to become the associate AD for capital projects at the University of Nebraska.
Wow.
Right. And so Larry has found himself a career in sports just by one phone call asking, could he, come and help in the equipment room at Middle Tennessee? And there's several others, right? There's several others like that. Carl Williams, who's serving in our equipment room right now as assistant equipment manager, was a student manager of ours here at South Carolina State.
I remember.
And so Carl kind of found his niche in the equipment room. So any chance you get to develop a relationship with your athletic department when you're in college and intern and volunteer, and don't be afraid of the hard work that doesn't really pay or doesn't look good, right? I think a lot of times at our HBCUs, those jobs aren't real cute. They aren't, the most popular job.
Right.
And people kind of shy away from
right.
because they think athletics, they think the big dollar really, really fast.
Right.
And it really doesn't happen that way all the time. So I would tell anyone listening, our young adults out there, college age students, high school age students that's thinking about career in sports, just get involved with your athletic departments when you get to college, and don't be afraid of the hard work and the grind, because it's going to pay off at some point.
All right, talk to me about getting back to South Carolina State, your relationship with Coach Chennisberry. What was it that got you back to Orangeburg and were able to enjoy the fruits of your work here in Orangeburg? Man,
I tell you what, it's been a tremendous transition. My relationship with Coach Berry, it goes back a few years. It's not hidden that we both are members of the greatest fraternity known to mankind. We both are members of Omega Psi Phi, so our relationship kind of dates back because of that. And him and my former head coach, and Willie Simmons, they were really, really good friends, and so we were able to keep in touch because of their relationship and how they work together and talk to each other every day when it came to offensive football. And so when Coach got named the head coach here, we had a conversation about helping him find a director of football operations. And at the time we were in our championship run, headed to the SWAC championship and the Celebration Bowl. And so after the Celebration Bowl, when Coach Simmons decided to step away from FAMU and take the job at the running back's job at Duke, me and Coach Berry was still in conversation about trying to help find someone to fill that role.